Alright. Uh, 2 videos in 1 month, I think. Wait, shit, it's April. Alright, 2 videos within a week. Wait, no. Fuck. Not that either. Uh, I don't know, 2 videos close enough. Like, within 2 weeks of each other. It works. Better than what have been doing. I really need to write a script for these. I have no idea what to say every time I start. Alright, anyway. So, as you can see here, we have this is just a default replay. What I'm going to be doing for this video is taking a bunch of replays from different people, one including myself. No order, actually. I might make an order. Yeah, sure, I'll do an order. So I'm going to be just going through the videos and making criticisms here and there on what you should be doing in game, like what kind of decision making you should be doing. They're going to be mostly higher level players. I didn't really get many other people besides myself, Gideon, Skelly, and Orbital. So first, we'll start off with Gideon, since I already have it up here. I'll be cutting through most of the parts where I'm not really saying much, or have nothing to actually say, but I will acknowledge good decision making that I feel like most people don't actually do, and should start doing. So immediately here, you see this guy, making a terrible play for it. He had an ice spell, he could have activated that and slowed him down. Also, shot the shotgun way too late. Could have definitely gotten away. I don't know about kill him, but he could have definitely at least gotten away. For the most part, where he's going to loot, that's easy. Of course, he's doing that part well. Over here, though, this, I'm assuming this is Drought, I think, and pretty sure Gideon knows that here. I'm assuming he's just gonna stay around well, because he knows that's him, and he'll want to stay away. I would back off with the kill, but I would have also taken boomings here. And since it would still be easy to get them, I would have taken boomerangs, bounced them off the wall constantly to get him. Especially since he's just waiting, he's not pushing at all. Oh, he took him now. I would have taken him sooner though. I would have taken him sooner though, since I've got them angles in my head. Got demon storm. Still gets the kill off. Over here, you can see him picking off everyone to kill, efficiently. He's going for whatever the easiest target is, but he's not, fully leaving anyone else to just run away. He's still, keeping a decent amount of pressure on everyone. Good to, pay attention and keep his distance from everyone. Most people forget, only focus on one target, forget about everyone else that's approaching them. Also, I'm not gonna really be judging too much on aim, it's more of decision making. So if someone's got bad aim, I'm not gonna criticize them, except for Gideon's garbage fucking aim right here. That's about it. Since aim's not really something you can stay consistent with. Or, well, you can, but that's something that just takes practice. I can't, help you. This is just what to do in what situations. And I took, mainly normal games. So what you would do in just, everyday matches. Here he's keeping his distance well. He's keeping pressure on everyone and keeping his distance. He's paying attention to everything that's on the ground as well. Those are super useful. I would have taken the monkey paw here as well, but it's not really needed in this situation. The accessory swaps are probably enough, especially with the feather on. And yeah, that's about it for Gideon's gameplay. There's not much you can really criticize with his gameplay, since he's the top player. But I mainly included his to acknowledge what you should be doing, not a bunch of stuff that you shouldn't be. Next up is my own gameplay. I only included mine because one, I just needed like more replays, and two, I feel like people would maybe like say something if I'm just talking shit on everyone else's replay and not including my own. This replay, if I remember correctly, I was taking it in like this was like the first game of my day. I was gonna do duos originally, but Gideon was gay and he just got off at this point, so I just decided to do solo duos. If I remember, well, this beginning part I'll probably be skipping for the most part, since not much actually happened. I didn't get much loot immediately. There wasn't much to do. That was a decent poison staff, but I 100% should have switched to the spear. I was nowhere near them for the, what's it called, dagger to work. Here, I know that they're here. Use the poison staff on them, but I shouldn't have kept healing. I definitely should have pushed up with the mace. Another spot here. I should not have dropped that poison staff early, especially since I knew there was someone in here. Should have used the poison staff on the hut and then pushed with the mace. It still works out as I dodged his like dagger attack, but if he had anything else, I probably would have been a bit screwed. Well, not really screwed, but probably would have lost more health. I don't know if that was a good void shield in this situation because I knew I could have dodged that. And it's a low rarity void shield, so I don't want to waste it on something I can easily dodge. I mean, it was still something that, like, it worked out in the end, but it's something you want to keep in mind. Just in case. If you don't need to use it, you just don't do it. Also, that's something a lot of people don't do. Using, like, an active accessory when you're switching to a passive one, just to use up its cooldown. It can help often. Also, keeping this position and that mace pre-swing is also pretty good. Knowing that they're both low, that was a good ram. And in this situation, I'm not like constantly paying attention to attacking. I definitely should have switched to monkey paw there. But as I was saying, in those like two fights, I was more focused on dodging and landing some hits rather than just trying to land all of my hits. In that ram on me, I definitely should have switched to monkey paw. I did get lucky though, since he did miss the mace. If he didn't, I would have likely been screwed. But besides that, I did, like, for a first game of the day, that was pretty decent, I'd say. Especially since I don't really play as much anymore. Alright. Next we're going to be doing, orbital. Or over, as I usually say. For this video and the next one, it's also from him. They're gonna have, like, black bars on the side since he's on a MacBook. MacBooks have slightly different aspect ratios, and the coloring is also a bit off. Right. This one's going to be more like critical since it's from Orbital. It's more to help him as well as everyone who's watching. The last two were like not really specifically to help the players in the video, since like the decision making on those were mainly pretty good. One thing I will point out though is I'm noticing his keybinds. They seem very like heavily influenced, or they seem very heavily reliant on the scroll wheel, which I don't really recommend keybinds like that. So what he's doing is he'll go to one of these and then he'll scroll wheel to like either his melee slot or his magic slot. I usually have just a button for every single slot. I find it way more efficient like that. Also, you shouldn't really waste arrows, especially when you have so little on that. That was a good monkey paw. I wouldn't recommend switching back and forth to bow there. The second monkey paw did save him, but I would have like just kept spamming the ice staff there. You don't need to always switch. You can just stay on one weapon, especially with the ice staff there. It would have slowed him down. He wouldn't have been able to get that close to you in the first place. This, I recommend backing up a bit with the void shield. Yeah. You don't want to get that aggressive, especially with the mace. You could have like backed off a bit and still hit him while still blocking the blunderbuss with the void shield. I would have kept the green void shield there as well. Here, yeah, him spinning out and freaking like his cursor out, it's slightly affecting his aim. Like right there, he was just spazzing it out, made him miss the bola. You have to pay attention more to where you're aiming. You don't have to like just instantly like look cool to by spazzing your mouse out. You can just take the like extra second or half second to aim, and then you'll like it'll help a lot more. You'll actually be landing your shots way more consistently. Here, I wouldn't really like in that situation. You shouldn't really waste like any reload time to attack something that you can clearly see there's no one by, especially since it's such a low rarity item, and you can see that there's only one other dude left. Over here, you can see once again he's just moving his cursor around a lot. He's spinning around. It's not helping him like at all. It made him miss a lot of shots, and he could have ended that fight way faster. All right. So for the most part in this game, he did pretty well, but what I would say is really keeping him down for this is one, the keybinds make it so uh each slot is a button, so you can get to each individual slot with a button instead of having to scroll wheel. And stop spinning. It's not helping at all, and it doesn't like make you look like you're playing faster. I never like spin, but you can still see that I play like considerably faster than most people. Same thing with like Gideon, he doesn't spin. His aim's very consistent because of it. Same with Sloppy. I don't think Sloppy spins. Pretty sure he doesn't. But yeah, you're spinning, it's like really screwing with your aim, and it's not gonna help. Doesn't make you like look any better or make you any more unpredictable. Just makes you way more inconsistent with where your shots go because of like that slight jitter every time you try to land a shot. You need to be more like smooth, and you have to like concentrate on where you're gonna land your shot. I know I wasn't gonna talk about aim on and like how to like help it, but in this situation, just not spinning will help your aim a lot and make it way more consistent. All right, this video is also from Orbital, but this one is a duos game. The last one was solo duos. This one he's going to be with Golden, and same thing, no audio, black bars inside, and weird coloring. Here you're getting, yeah, okay, he pushed too far with the mace. Anytime like you use a mace, you want to make sure like you get it with the edge. Don't push all the way in. A big part of the mace is like its ability to outrange the sword, the axe, and like the dagger. So if you're gonna push in like that, it defeats its purpose, and you just took 38 damage for no real reason. that was a good use of the ice staff to slow down to him and then catching up with the axe in order to kill him. A lot of people don't actually like take enough advantage over the slowdown that the ice staff gives, because it can be really helpful. I don't know how good that trap was, and there's no need to. I don't know why he's spamming the alleviation staff. You're both full health. Yeah, that was a bit of a waste. Here you have to pay attention. This, I think he might be asking for ammo. Depends on if he goes for those arrows down there. Yeah, he did. You have to pay attention to like what your teammate is moving, or like the weapon they're holding, switching around. A lot of the time they are asking for ammo when doing that. Hmm. I would not have rammed to there, because now he's probably gonna get revived down there. He completely changed his focus. And yeah, he did get him right back down. But in like most situations, like you should like keep your focus a bit more spread. But he like completely changed where his focus was directed and didn't go after them for a bit, like at all. Also, I 100% would have taken this flawless fire staff. I should have paid attention to that. Here, there's only one guy left. Oh. And yeah, not much else to say right there. This game was a bit better. Not as much to say. Not like as many mistakes or over aggression or anything like that. His aim stayed more consistent. I don't think he like spun as much. There were a few things here and there that he shouldn't have gone for, but overall, like anything I have to say, I've probably already said. All right, this video is from Skelly in aspect ratios back to normal. I don't. He better go into full screen, and we actually have audio this time. This is also like an actual scrim, so it's a bit different circumstances and like a bit different on priority. So you have to, since this is a scrim, you'll have to play like a bit smarter and like more aggressive. You can't make as many mistakes in these. Already, I don't know about this drop. This drop, I don't know why he actually takes this drop. He's not getting much. That ram definitely was not needed. That's just a waste of a cooldown. So these are the last IO Olympics. And from what I can tell, they're just normal scrims. But your teams are just named after countries. I don't think they understand. I'm pretty sure they just don't understand the concept of Olympics if this is what they're doing with it. I wouldn't have just wasted a crossbow shot right there, especially since you can hear a bunch of people close by. So you'll know you'll probably be needing it. I don't know how much I agree with just like firing random shots. I guess like in that situation, you're out in the open. That crossbow shot, he's doing what I was criticizing Orbital of. He's just spinning around, shooting immediately instead of taking like an extra half a second to actually aim. Shooting immediately is not going to help. It's help much. It's really worth it to just take the extra second to aim. That trap placement is probably better that he put it there, because people are going to be coming from the zone and likely push into the trap. He has an extra slot. I really suggest he take the boulder staff. The boulder staff can be super helpful, especially considering that like it's a tournament as well, a scrim. He could also just use the boulder staff to cover up these windows, and he shouldn't stay right by the door in case he did actually like get it through the window and not hit the side. He wants to stay more in the open. I still really recommend taking this boulder staff. You have the extra slot, there's not really much reason not to take it. He needs to pay attention to, like, when he's not shooting, when he's reloading, he needs to pay attention to all the projectiles coming at him. Like that lightning staff and the fireball, he wasn't, like, even trying to dodge them, just let them hit him. Here, I would have kept the crossbow along with take the bow as well. Since you, like, once again, you have the extra slot, there's no reason not to take both of them. Have activated the void shield that soon, just in case he did fire another instead of pushing with the mace. But otherwise he played the end game decent, played it like good enough. He won. But I would have, like, he had the extra slot, I would have definitely tried to take more advantage of that, like take either the boulder staff or keep an extra crossbow for it. Like if you end up in a bad situation, it could help a lot. Alright, this is going to be the last replay. This is also from Skelly, and it's also in an actual event. This is apparently a very intense endgame, but he does lose. I'm going to see if there is much he could have done to win. You see that he immediately starts with 45 health only. There's a lot of people everywhere. He's just trying to keep pressure, but he's not going... Alright, let me turn this down. He's not going overly aggressive. He should definitely take that void shield. And probably also the monkey claw. I wouldn't waste mana there, especially when you have the alleviation staff and need the alleviation staff. Good crossbow. This feather spam is not helping you. You shouldn't be spamming it in this situation. I also, like, probably would have recommended taking that perfect boulder staff instead of feather in this. Actually, maybe not. I would have placed the trap by now and taken the perfect boulder staff. Really good feather and reaction. Pretty decent trap placement, especially since it blocks him. Blocks a good portion of that. Even though he still didn't see it. Oh, he does get trapped with it. I wouldn't have wasted the mana there. Yeah, right. So if he did, if he did take the boulder staff earlier, he could have 100% blocked this off and really screwed him. And even managed to get his, like, crossbow cooldown off and a bit of his mana up. He could have 100% won this. That's the thing about events. Like, boulder staff can come in really useful in endgame, especially in events or scrims. It's something that people, like, really underrate. They don't use it at all. It's super slept on. It can, like, be super useful as well. Any AoE, actually, like poison staff, meteor staff, or boulder staff. Most AoEs can come in super handy in like events and endgames in general. Like, aside from that, Skelly did play mostly well in this endgame. Compared to most, he kept his distance enough, but kept enough pressure. There were some situations where, like, he could have made a better decision. Like, he could have placed the trap, like, around here, where not in front of someone where they would see, especially somewhere they could have just gotten around. I don't know how he got into the trap in the first place, but he should have placed it, like, around here from the beginning and taken the perfect boulder staff over there when he had the chance, because he would have had the freed up slot from placing down the trap. But aside from that, he played well. But there is one more thing I'd have to say to Skelly. Get fucking keybinds, holy shit.
I just wanna cut loose, snip, fuck a job, fuck it. I can be my own boss, on God. Just cut my own check, make my own bread. Taking from the pack, cause my rollie fully dead. Oh.